to build your business through testimonies, okay? So who is this live feed for? Now, if you are a fellow network marketer, if you are a business owner, if you're a realtor, if you're a mortgage broker, if you're in any kind of business for yourself, this is probably a live feed that you want to be watching, because we're going to be talking about how to build your business through testimonies. Now, there's a couple types of testimonies, that your own personal testimony, right? And then third-party testimonies. So we're going to be covering both of those different types. So I am going to relate to the thing that I do most of the time, which I am in network marketing. And so if you are in that as well, you probably have been to some type of major event, some type of small party event, something where people are sharing testimonies. And one of my personal pet peeves, and I'm sure it's yours as well, is you go there. You have a couple of prospects. They're your personal people. You worked really hard to get them there with you. And then somebody who has an amazing testimony gets up and they start talking. And they start talking. And they start talking. And they totally blow the testimony. How to properly give a testimony is so very important. So there is 3 steps that we usually teach and we like to do when we have people that share their testimonies. Number 1, if you want to say where you were at prior to whatever happened, okay? Then you want to say number 2, hey, then I got on XYZ product, I started XYZ service, then something happened, okay? And then the last part is obviously the results. Okay, so how could this look? Let's say you have a health and wellness business. Prior to getting started, I used to be addicted to coffee. I was drinking 3-4 cups a day. My husband knew not to talk to me until I had my coffee, okay? Then I got started on XYZ product. I had more energy than ever before. In fact, I felt like as good as I did when I was a teenager. Since then, these are the kind of results that I've had. So you want to kind of go through the 1, 2, 3 of, here was my sob story before. Then I got introduced to the product. I got introduced to the service. I got introduced to something that changed my life, right? And here's what's happened since then, right? So let's do another one. Let's say you have a travel business, okay? So, prior to getting started, I was working all the time, living paycheck to paycheck, never had the money to go on a vacation. Then I got hooked up with XYZ company, travel company, right? And you know what? I was so inspired. I found something that was a good fit for me and my family, and I was able to take the first ever family vacation to wherever, Hawaii, with me and my kids, and it's been so life-changing. Our family is closer than ever before, okay? So that's how you give a testimony. Testimony should be 30 to 60 seconds, maybe, a minute and a half at the longest, but not too long, not too long. You want to think of testimonies as just kind of like a power statement. Prior, then, this is what happened. And when you do that, not only can you go and have a lot of testimonies be shared in a home party, in a PBR, if you're in a big open setting, but they're more memorable. It's unfortunate because sometimes what people will do is they will start their testimony like this. They will be like, let's go back to health. Well, I was born on a cold, stormy night back in November. And, and they just get into all the drama, all the details. They tell you every medication they've ever been on since they were 5, right? And then finally, 10 minutes later, they get you, then this happened, and then here's my results, right? And you know what happens is people check out, right? If you spend a lot of time talking on this and you're talking on that and you're just giving way too many details, people check out. And that's not what you want. You want your testimony to impact someone. You want it to be something that's short, that's sweet, that people can be like, oh, well, did you know so-and-so used to have this problem that they struggled with? So-and-so was taking diabetes medication for the last 10 years. They got on XYZ product. They found it really helped regulate their blood sugar, and now they've been able to reduce their medication intake. Whatever the case may be. Let's say you're in skincare, right? Let's say somebody had, a really bad scar on their face. In fact, I had a really bad scar here on my forehead years ago, right? So let's say someone had a scar. They had a skincare product. They said, you know what? Prior to getting started, I was really self-conscious because I had this scar on my face. I got introduced to XYZ product. I started taking the product. I was on it for 6 weeks, whatever the time is. And then, you know what? here's the results. Now you can barely see the scar. I feel amazing. My self-confidence is up and whatever, right? So, it's just about sharing it short, sweet, to the point, okay? Now, let's talk a little bit about financial testimonies, because financial testimonies are so very powerful, right? There's nothing more powerful than when someone gets in and they can start seeing results in a short period of time, right? So how would that look for your finances? You want to share your income testimony of whatever you're doing, or somebody else that you know. We'll talk a little bit about that as well. Prior to getting started, I was working paycheck to paycheck. I knew that there had to be a better way, and I just didn't know exactly what to do. Then I got introduced to your company. You know what? I got so excited. I hit the ground running, and since then, I've been able to make $1,300 in my first 35 days, and I feel amazing. Whatever it is, short, sweet, to the point. If you have a car program, throw your car in. Whatever it is, you just want to make it short and powerful. So guys, we are talking all about your testimony, right? Your testimony is so very important, and the culture that you build in your organization needs to be one that understands this testimony flow, right? Because if we understand how to simply give a testimony, how to give it powerfully, then you know what? It'll duplicate in our team, and those people can also impact your own prospects and the people that you're wanting to share this information with. So the next part we're going to talk about is actually testimonies of other people. You might say, you know what, Summer, that's all fine and dandy, but I don't have an income testimony just yet. What now? What do I do? Or you know what? Hey, I'm so new. I just got started on my product, or I just got started on my service, and I haven't really got to experience all of the benefits of it. What do I do then? Well, I have got the thing for you. So we're going to be talking about that. How important and how powerful are testimonies? Well, if you've been doing your business for any length of time, they're probably the most lethal tool that we have, right? They're the most powerful thing that you could possibly use to build your business. Why? Because facts tell and stories sell. Your stories are going to be the things that inspire the people that you know. Your stories are going to be the things that, it's not the facts and figures that people buy into. It's, wow, what did it do for this person? What did it do for your neighbor? What did it do for your friend down the street? So, it's those things that people will use to decide that they want to join you, And so, people say that they make decisions, right, logically in their mind, but they back it up emotionally. So what's the backup? What's the most important part? The stories, right? Anyway, so let's talk about how to build your business through testimonies that are not your own. Well, this is very important, okay? And this is actually probably, just as important as knowing how to share your own testimony is how do you share the testimony of people. What we do all day is we're professional storytellers, right? We get paid to share stories of people, that have got on our product, they got on our service, they started building our business, and they had success, and that is how we build our business. So, getting to be a master of the stories is so very important. A couple of things that you can do if you don't have your own testimony yet is identify 2, 3, 4, 5 people that you like their product testimony or service testimony, and you can use their testimony in the business. Now, a great way to do that is if you have, something like this that you've been featured in Success from Home magazine, if you have something with a bunch of different pictures of your team on it, if you have something even like a phone, right, where you have a picture of someone and you could just point them out and say, hey, listen, let me tell you about this person. Prior to getting started, they really struggle with their weight. Then they got on our product, and here's the kind of results that they're having. How about this one? Hey, you know what? This is, my grandma, and this is the kind of results that she had. It's not really all about you all the time and your personal testimony. The more that you can share other people's testimonies, the better it gets. And so let's say you are just getting started. Let's say maybe you have a testimony of your product or service. Maybe you don't. Get some testimonies in your arsenal. Get plugged into a conference call with your organization. Get plugged into an area event, whether it's a home get-together or whether it's a bigger type meeting, whatever the case may be. Get some stories in your arsenal, right, on your product or service. Now, let's talk business, right? You may say, okay, well, maybe I have some stories on my product or my service, but I haven't made any money yet, right? So if that's the case, then you want to be sharing the stories of people that you hear all around you in your company that have, right? People that are just getting started, people that are ultra successful. Use your success magazine, point it out. 9 times out of 10, most companies have some kind of documentation that says, these are our leaders, right? Even if you just have pictures of people on your phone and say, hey, this person got started. They're one of my friends. I know them. They're right here in our hometown. They got started, and in the first 30 days they did X, Y, Z. And going through your phone and having those stories in your arsenal of things that you can share. If you just followed the 1, 2, 3 that we had, right? The prior to getting started, then they had their experience, and then here's what happened afterwards. Those are the simple things that you can do over and over and over to build your business. And what's amazing is a lot of people, they will get hung up on the fact, thinking that they really have to have a testimony themselves to build their business successfully. And I can tell you for a fact that that is totally not true. You don't have to have a testimony yet on your product or service, or a testimony yet on your business. If you can just borrow and share the testimonies that you've heard of people around you, you can build your business on that 100%. Just know what they are and share them with passion, share them with excitement. So I hope that this impacted you, and if so, definitely feel free to share this with people that you know. Let's help as many people in the profession as we possibly can. And one final thing is, if we haven't met, I would love to connect up with you. So definitely send me a private message, and love to hear your story. Other than that, take care, be blessed, have an incredible night, and I'll